Okay, so hey guys, welcome to episode number 11. We're already in digits time. It's like season 2. I'm so happy. And here on TreeBark, I have another special, awesome, powerful, super high energy, good vibes, thriving Nonstop pup. How you doing, Nonstop?
How's it going?
So you have like a lot of fields, I want to say. Like if I even pull up your Twitter feed, like you like I don't know how many things you have your paws into because it's like crazy. You're a Thrive provider. I don't even know where to begin with that. Musician, you're
Yeah, I have a lot
CEO.
of jobs. I do a lot of things.
Yeah,
It's true.
and it's really hard to keep track of. So like when I see like your feed, you're always putting out so much like different content. I'm like, oh my god, how does this guy survive? But I guess that's the job of a Thrive provider. Um,
Exactly.
so if you could give me and like everyone like maybe just like an inkling or like a little tease to like what you do, what you're about. What is Nonstop Pup?
Okay. Wow. What is Nonstop Pup? Well, well, you're right. I do have a lot of jobs. I am a professional recording artist. I've been doing music for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Working with a lot of different record labels and stuff. Eventually, I got my degree in cognitive psychology.
Oh,
And I
that's
started
where
working
the.
in therapy, so that's where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that that's just like a cute like therapy dog kind of
Yeah,
thing, but
I
like
saw
I'm
therapist.
actually I'm actually a therapist.
Wow.
Um, and on top of that, I run my own clothing store, Nonstop Shop. I don't know if you've ever seen that, like all the designs and stuff I make.
I do want to get into that later. Yeah, depressed but well dressed.
Yeah, so I design my own clothes, I sell it and ship it all pretty much myself. So that's where the CEO thing comes in. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
work. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, and I manage a few artists too in the music industry, and
Oh, is that
yada
like
yada yada. So
contract work or how does that work?
yeah, well, just being in the music scene years ago and kind of working with a lot of like big DJs and whatnot, I was always in a position where I kind of had to do everything myself. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really have very many people to rely on or to help me. So when I had some level of success, and I made some friends along the way who kind of were still behind in terms of having not broken out yet,
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of decided I want to focus on helping them get the exposure and the guidance they needed.
Was
So
this
I kind
like
of,
was this in like the DJ scene or like starting
yeah,
off
yeah,
when
yeah.
you're a musician? I don't know where like the line kind of blends between musician and DJ or gig work. How does that kind of bleed together?
Hmm. So just in general, a long time ago, you could make a living just DJing. Like that's just playing other people's music without writing your own.
Mm.
But the scene got so saturated and competitive that pretty much you can't. There's no way to viably succeed in the DJ scene without also being a musician in your own right.
Is that to say
So
like it's just so saturated because like everyone's doing it or it's hard to just kind of stand out in that way?
it's both. I mean,
Oh,
it's
okay.
hard to. That's why writing your own music kind of brings your own draw because now you are performing as yourself as a musician. So like when you go on stage, like Porter Robinson, for example, you're going to hear Porter Robinson's music. Like
Yeah.
you're going there because he's an amazing, talented songwriter.
And
Whereas
you're
just a
listening
club
to
DJ can just
yeah.
you don't even know who they are, that you don't know what they're going to write or whatever. So
And even if it's like a remix or something, like when you introduce something new to the mix with your own content, you have your flavor and your brand that people could know you for.
right,
Okay.
exactly.
And so like now, so from the DJ scene though, like where does this kind of dip into the furry realm? Like, because I did see a couple of other videos on YouTube you have. I'm not sure if like it was run by any channel that you know of, but I did actually go to BLFC 2019 last year, and I think were you DJing on the stage a few
Yeah, I
times with
DJ'd. I
Pool Boy?
DJ'd. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I DJ'd my own main stage set, just my own music and stuff, on I think Saturday. But Pool Boy and I had something called Nonstop Show,
Yeah.
and this happened because prior to the con, I wanted to host a panel, and we applied for a panel. We didn't really have an idea what we were doing. We just wanted to do like some kind of comedy thing. But the con chair and the con staff like reached out to me and said, "Hey, instead of doing a panel, how about we'll just give you a main stage show. How about you
Oh
two
wow.
just use the main stage, and we'll give you an hour right after closing ceremonies."
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, "Holy fuck, this is we don't know
Just
what
to
the
do
fuck we're doing,
whatever
but we'll
and
figure it
like,
out."
yeah.
Yeah, so it turned into like an improv comedy show. It was a lot of fun. We had like a lot of bits and games for the audience and stuff like that to do. So
Yeah, I caught a little whiff of that, and like people were taping them up or something, and
yeah,
T
we had
posing.
I had this idea to do a duct tape dummy relay race.
Oh, that's what it was.
So
Okay.
yeah, we cut the crowd in half and gave them two like sets of duct tape, and whichever team created the duct tape dummy first won.
Mm-hmm.
It was really silly, but it was a lot of fun.
Does the so like, are you still like big in the DJ scene, or in like, is it more of like a niche thing for you these days, where it's like maybe you host like small room parties or something, or
Um,
what's that life like?
so as of the last couple years, I kind of took a step back out or away from the music industry. It gets really competitive. It's really stressful to maintain
Mm-hmm.
a high level of consistency and activity, and for me at least, it always felt like I had to compete not against like other people, but like against myself, because anytime you release something and it's successful, you're always thinking about whether or
How?
not that's going to be the last thing that you put out
Yeah,
that's going to be good.
and how do I top
um
that for the next
right,
time?
exactly.
Yeah. I
So it got pretty heavy. But I decided to kind of recede a bit, focus on helping a couple of artists that I have under my wing to get there first, because I've already kind of been there and done that.
And in a
And then
way, is it like a kind of like also kind of reinvigorating you when you see them doing well, I imagine?
yeah, I mean, I just want them to get the notoriety that I know they deserve.
Oh, of course, of course.
But before the last couple of years, yeah, I'm still in contact with a lot of these people, and I currently, I guess, like if you're asking like big, I'll just say I have record signings on Grammy winning and nominated labels,
Oh,
and I've been on a
wow.
headlining tour a few times, last time being across Japan. So
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's pretty high energy stuff. I mean, like, yeah, like kind of like how you mentioned, the burnout must be crazy for that type of work once like
it's
you've,
hard. It's real
yeah.
hard. I mean, you get like one label signing and then you just freak out, you know.
Yeah.
So people start hitting you up and you're like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna have to impress them, you know, like I have to do this and do this and do this all the time. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So like kind of, is this now for you like this little kind of cool down period where you're kind of like gathering up like things to do for a new project, or what have you been kind of like aiming at recently?
Yeah, so yeah, I took like pretty much a year off, which is the worst thing to do ever for a music career.
Mm.
But I took a year off, and I've been working a lot more heavily on my album. I've never put out a full length
Ooh.
story driven album before as like a mature artist. Like I've done that shit when I was like a teenager and it didn't mean anything.
You say
But
story driven. What is that? What does that kind of entail?
oh, I can't spoil it.
Oh
But
shoot. Okay.
I will say
Generally.
yeah, right. It's a collection. I would say like around 12 or 13 songs, and
Mhm.
it kind of revolves around telling the story of this God, it sounds so cliche and free, but it is about a dog character. And it's about finding the thin line between, how do I explain? Um I think let me try to word this in the right way.
No problem. Yeah, no rush.
I think
'Cause
it's about finding the beauty in loss and
mhm.
why um like you only get to really appreciate certain things after you know you don't have them, and sometimes
Mm.
that makes losing them worth it.
Because again, like yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming at with like the slight cliche thing, the way well you're generally explaining it, but do you think it's better to have loved than to have never loved at all, that kind of thing? And
Yeah, it's a little bit more, it's a little darker than that. It's more about like God, I don't know how deep I want to go in this. But it's oh, man.
maybe a bit of like melancholic or kind of
Yeah,
dipping
there
into
are happy moments, you know. But it's generally pretty serious music, which I don't often get to do just because a lot of uh a lot of my success came from like the less serious kind of like party music
oh,
kind of
okay.
thing.
So I'm imagining like this type of thing, although it's kind of new, it's like super meaningful to you. So it's
Yeah.
like
So it's
kind
been
of
taking me fucking forever, and
yeah.
I really
You
want to get through
you
it.
want to be very careful with it. No, I totally get it
Right.
because it's like your little brainchild, and that's
Mm-hmm.
like as an artist too, I can really vibe with that.
Right.
Um, the thing is, like, do you also draw inspirations from like other, particularly furry artists? Because I know Salt and Pepper Coyote is like another pretty famous furry in that
Right.
field. So do you have any parallels with those other artists?
In the furry fandom, I love. I'm a huge advocate for musician rights in the furry fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the whole comping badges thing, the whole all of that stuff. I've been very vocal about. So I'm in touch with like a lot of furry musicians, and I speak about them all the time. I'm on phone calls with cons and shit of trying to like get them listened to because like it seems like they don't get fucking listened to all the time. But in terms of inspiration,
Yeah.
uh I don't know. I think a lot of my inspiration comes from um other artists I grew up listening to, or um kind of just my own environment, or like my own emotional state probably.
Okay, yeah, so it's not necessarily like within the fandom that you're providing from the outside, and that's what I kind of
Right.
like
I
as the
think the
fandom.
fandom as a whole influences me,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
not individuals from the fandom, no.
I gotcha. And yeah, and you can yeah, you're also throwing something new into the mix because you have your outside inspiration. And I can really see like the way you talk about like the whole like managing and getting into contacts with a bunch of people. That's your way of like being the promoter in a sense for a lot of different artists.
Right.
So I really appreciate that. Uh
Yeah, I mean, I just think if you have a platform and you're not using it to help other people, you're also kind of wasting it. So you gotta,
yeah,
all the boats rise with the water, you know, you have to like help.
help lift everyone up and then they can lift you too. That's
Right.
yeah, that's really
Exactly.
important. And I think yeah, that's often kind of underrated too. I don't know if like to get too into depth with that, but like there's a lot of like sometimes people may reach success and they may think that they didn't have a lot of help on the way, and it can kind of get into that like I guess like the
Right.
ego realm that I've seen a little bit before. Um, but anyway, stepping a bit from that, during these kind of topical now to date this episode, but like in these kind of crazy times,
Hmm.
like with what we were just talking about a little before the show, being quarantined and whatnot.
Hmm.
How did you get the idea for organizing like last year's Minecon kind of dealers room? What was that about?
So, so that was called Nonstop World.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge celebration, and it was kind of my personal love letter to the furry fandom. And not just the furry fandom as it is. It wasn't really only a party, although you can just attend and experience it as just a
Yeah.
party. But it was really a celebration of the influence of the furry fandom through history, community, and I was just at the time that started the development of that. My planning of that started years ago.
Oh
I had
wow.
made like a very small version of it with like maybe one or two people fucking 3 or 4 years ago, just talking about it, and it like was kind of this rough draft thing that turned out really shitty, and then we decided to like, okay, let's like give this a real shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to I've been in the fandom for a fucking long time. I've been in the fandom for like say 15, 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always had a really strong relationship with it, and it was always a place where I could learn more about myself. Everything that I am now, I feel like I can attribute in some way to the growth and the influence from the people I've met through this community, like growing up queer, um, growing up as an artist, whatever.
Yeah.
So the influence that, and you know, back in the day, I don't know how long you've been in the fandom for, but if it's been a while, you remember there was no Twitter, there was no even FA, there was no PayPal. Like we were hiding on message boards around the internet, not being able to find each other. And if we did, we'd like have to exchange MSN names, and like there was no Telegram and
AOL
all
chat,
this
I
shit,
don't know.
right? And then going from that to like being on Vice and like BuzzFeed and people loving us and being in music videos and
Yeah.
like being an advertiser, it's fucking crazy. It's
And
fucking insane. So I just wanted to highlight the path we've come on, not just because I think it's fucking sick, but because I think it helps remind us that we've come a long fucking way and we fought for this
for
and
sure.
we earned it and we deserve it, and things are only going to get better from here. So we got to keep doing what we're doing. We have to keep being exactly who we are without
Yeah.
any compromise.
And on that notion, like without any other real person like kind of spearheading the community, like there's no leader, there's no it's not a cult.
Right.
And
There's no president of the furry fandom. No, no,
yeah,
no.
and among all these other different kinds of like cultures, subcultures, communities, I've never really seen one age this way since. I mean, I've only been in the fandom for like personally like three ongoing 4 years now, but
Right.
I did delve into like the history and look at those old like 1990s videos of cons and whatnot, and
Right.
seeing it mature into like
It's
these,
crazy.
yeah, like thick beans, dad bods everywhere. That's, like you just don't see that kind of thing anywhere else, and that's what again, like you mentioned. I really find that personally like touching because I've discovered myself more as an adult going
Right.
into my early adult life. Like what I'm okay with, what sexuality I'm okay with identifying as. And when you find like this kind of wealth or pool of like going to my first fur meet like locally here in Hawaii, you're like, whoa, like there's so many people that kind of understand where I'm coming from. And
Right.
I don't think I've ever experienced that with any other, like I've been to anime conventions, I've been
Right.
to like, you know, family parties, friends, family from high school, but it never had the same kind of vibe. How was your first kind of introduction into like, oh, I'm going to find my first furry to meet in real life and
Oh,
not just,
fuck.
you know, or even online?
Well,
How
my,
has that been?
holy fuck. It's like fucking low-key embarrassing. When I I was, oh my god. I was a teenager on the internet, as we all are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was just Googling some dumb shit, like fucking, oh fuck, I don't even know how I found this shit. But I'm just gonna say it. I just fucking was on Google Images, came across some pictures that I know I shouldn't have been looking at for whatever reason, stumbled across them and was like, wow, what the fuck is that? Holy shit. What is that? And of course, curiosity overtook me. And then the Google image search turned into, holy shit, there's a comic. Like, what is this web comic? And I was a huge fan of comics. Like, I love comics. I never read too many of them just because I didn't have access to them. But then whenever I did, I love storytelling. So found a comic online. I don't remember what the fuck it's called. It was really gay. And then it turns out there's a lot of people talking about it. There's fucking hundreds of people on this website talking about how gay this comic is. Wow, this is insane. And then I made an account, which I shouldn't have done. And, you know, I just kind of lurked for a while to try to figure out like what all this shit was. Because I didn't have any exposure to seeing any of that before. I didn't know anybody around me who was queer. I was like at that point in my life, you know, people were still like making jokes
It
about fucking being gay and shit. So
Yeah, definitely. Like I do kind of remember, like, not to interject too much, but like
Mhm.
even growing up where like I personally would just say like, dude, that's gay or something. Like it was just
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
for sure.
the nomenclature like
Yeah.
it, and now like this generation coming up is hella gay and it's
Right.
super amazing. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I just kind of lurked around. At that point, I found out that there was this thing called Furry. I found a Furry message board, made an
mhm.
account there. I made like 2 friends. Like one of them really actually talked to me, and the other person I talked to on and off or whatever. And then we got pretty close, and it was nice. And then eventually, I went to my first Furry Con alone, and it was miserable. That was
Oh,
my introduction to the
what
furry
happened?
world.
Where did the misery come from actually?
Well, fucking, when I got into furry, as a teenager, um, my relationship with the fan. First of all, like I said, there was no such thing as PayPal at the time. God, this makes me sound so fucking old. Everybody's gonna find out how old I am. I'm sorry, guys. I'm old.
Oh my God,
Um,
are you a gray muzzle?
I'm a gray
Are you past
muzz.
30 already? Oh my
No,
gosh.
I'm not, but I I might as well be. Um, I'm right there. I'm like right there. I'm at the cusp of being a gray. Anyway, um, no, I my relationship with the furry fandom at the time was like I was putting out a lot of rock music on FA,
Okay, already
and
like going into the music area. Okay.
right. Well, I grew up playing guitar. Like I loved playing guitar. I used to write rock music all the time, like in
I
high
did see
school
some
and
of
shit.
your clips. Yeah, they were really
Yeah,
sick.
I
Yeah.
tried putting it.
In
Thank you.
suit. Yeah, it was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I tried sharing that with everybody. But as everybody knows, on FA, like only like 10 people listen to music on FA, and then everybody else just kind of clicks through the pictures.
Yeah,
So
it's all.
I only met like I only knew like a handful of people who like really liked music, you know,
Mhm.
music furs or whatever. I became close friends with them, but I didn't know too many people in the fandom at the time. So, but I knew that FC was in town. FurCon is in San Jose, and I grew up around San Jose.
Mhm.
So I figured like I'll just go. I'll just go show up and see what happens. And I went alone, and going to a con alone is like the worst
Oh
shit ever.
no.
So I
Yeah.
just fucking walked around and had no friends and fucking just kind of watched everything happen. And then I was like, this is fucking weird because I don't know anybody. And then I just left. So that was
Oh
my first.
no. So,
That was nonstop up at FC
but
fucking
spoiler,
years
you're
ago.
still here.
Yeah.
So what was the draw? What was still the connection there?
Well, my one brain cell is too addicted to furry art to leave, so I just
Okay.
can't. Well, I tried that a few times. I went to FC like a few times fucking alone. I don't know why. I really wanted to like experience it the way that I thought you're supposed to, kind of thing. Because you know, you
Mhm.
hear so many stories about like, oh, this changed my life, or like, oh, like cons are the best thing ever. And also, I think I was trying to find a place where I could express the other parts of myself that I couldn't just like with my friends from high school or my family or whatever, you know, like
Yeah,
being queer
there was
and being into
definitely
this kind of art.
way more breathing room.
Right. So I kept trying. I tried a few times and then it didn't work out. And I was pretty much about to like stop trying to go because I had moved at that point and it was no longer a 30-minute drive, but a 7-hour drive.
Oof.
But one of my friends who I got to know convinced me on a phone call to like give it one more shot. Just try it one more time. And if you don't like it, I'll never ask you again. Just fucking just try it one more time. I promise you. The worst thing that can happen is you'll be bored, right? Like
True,
the
true.
worst thing that can happen is you'll be bored, and that's not a big deal. But the worst case scenario in skipping that is you miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime. Like maybe you'll meet the one person, whatever kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I said, fuck it. I got in a car. This is a crazy story, actually. That year, I needed a ride, or I needed somebody to drive up to the con with, because it's a 7-hour drive.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And one of my friends I knew just said offhandedly, hey, like one of my friends could use a ride. His car broke down. He lives in LA, so you can just pick him up on the way. You two can drive up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't even know who the fuck you're talking about. I'm gonna drive with a stranger for 7 hours, but
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Fine, fuck it. Let's just do it. Drove out to LA, and it turns out that his friend is Red Rusker.
Oh gosh.
So my first real big con, I drove up to fucking San Jose, arguably one of the most popular furry artists ever. And that was a crazy trip. But that con was so fucking good.
That was at
I met,
FC?
yeah, I met people that like the best people in the world. I
Mhm.
met my significant other there.
Hey, right
I
on.
fucking it was, as cliche as it sounds, fucking life changing.
Like
So
it's fun
I
to say
was
like,
hooked
oh,
after that.
this is like the last hurrah, and if nothing comes of it,
Right,
oh well.
and it fucking happened. It
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
happened.
And like
Um,
so that's where you knew like when you met these people, it's like, oh, it's not a phase, mom. You know,
right, then
it's not.
I got it. I got the whole, oh, this is why people spend thousands of dollars doing this shit. This shit's fucking fun. This is
Exactly. And
awesome.
so for like yeah, for the thousands of dollars, you'll sometimes see like fursuits go like freaking worth more than my car.
Oh yeah.
How did you get into suiting, or like what was the fandom to you? Actually, I kind of want to get a really like from scratch answer, because
Okay.
for getting it from the online space that you did into
Mhm.
like seeing the culture for what it was at the cons,
Mhm.
like did you think that suiting was necessarily a requirement, or what do you think was like the
Oh
level of
yeah, here
involvement?
I've been seeing like people talk about that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um no, I never felt that way. I never felt that it was like a requirement. I thought it was tight.
Okay.
Um I always wanted one,
Yeah, it's just
but um that shit at the time, that shit was so unobtainable to me. Like back when I started getting to furry, even commissioning art was fucking hard. There were only like fucking a handful of artists that were like considered to be like good artists, right? And then
mm-hmm.
like even trading money online was so difficult because PayPal had just become a thing or whatever, and like I didn't have that shit.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't as
I
yeah,
never had art.
it's really hard to like, or it's really easy to take for granted all the services we have now
Oh
actually.
yeah. We have so many. There's like Cash App, there's fucking Venmo,
Venmo, um,
obviously PayPal,
PayPal,
um,
and
even
even
like
like the I
donation services like coffee and shit like that.
yeah, Ko-fi, oh, coffee, yeah, Ko-fi and Patreon. It's freaking
Oh
wild.
yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
more than ever, I feel like everyone has the power to really put their own voice out there and manage themselves and really be their own
Right.
boss. And
Yeah.
that's like what blows my mind as an artist, because I wouldn't personally have been an artist to this day without the fandom and without all these tools. Like it's really crazy. Uh, so yeah, oh, yeah, who is your maker actually? I don't think I've ever looked into that.
I've
It's
only had him for
amazing.
like, people think I've had him for forever. I've had him for less than a year. I debuted him at BLFC last year, so like I haven't had
It's
him
only been a
forever.
year. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But like as soon as you start posting content with it, I think like people just think you've had him forever. But
Yeah.
compared to how long I've been in the fandom and how long I've had him, like I've barely had him. Like
He's
I
a
just
baby
got him.
boy. He's
He's
only a
a
year
baby
old.
boy. Yeah.
Did you have a suit birthday already, or is that a thing?
Mm. Wow, I haven't thought about that. That's a good idea.
I've seen some people like they have a little cupcake or something like, yeah, I'm 2 years old. I'm like, oh my
That's so
gosh.
cute. That's adorable. Wow, I should do that. That's a really good idea. I should do that.
I'm just looking at your icon right now. Is that from Spoggles? It looks really based
Yeah,
on.
I
Oh,
love
that's
Sploggle.
so
Shout out
nice.
Splogles. Gray, I love you.
Yeah, freaking. Oh, I want to meet that guy so much. Even my boyfriend, yeah, he got me a couple of his pieces and stuff from a few cons. It's
Oh,
really nice.
yeah, they're a sweetheart.
And oh my gosh, so from like going up in the community, like did you look at the other artists and think like how you wanted to like get your own art out there, and what was like your spread of like your music media like? Because it's really hard, like you mentioned, it's like kind of a niche in the community
Yeah.
as a musician, I imagine.
Yeah, yes and no. So it depends on what you want.
Mm-hmm.
For me, music I never limited to the fandom. So my approach to being a successful musician was entirely in what I deemed was like the professional music space. So it's like all these labels that are really like Skrillex, Diplo,
Yeah.
yada yada yada. All these people, like that's where my music went. All my music work and stuff was, it exists on another alias where I like communicated with these people, these record labels, and I got record deals, did like work for different companies, fucking played shows, all that stuff outside the realm of the furry fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Like my investment in furry and music has nothing to do with like being successful, but it has more to do with like I want to meet more people. I want to meet more people who do music. I want to find other people that are trying to do music in that space. And like if I do, we can talk about it. You know, there's a lot of musicians in the fandom that are struggling to be heard or figure
Mm-hmm.
out how to make a living doing it. And you know, like if I can talk to them, that'd be cool or whatever. But um trying to get exposure as an artist in the fandom, yeah, I mean, aside from music, like I used to try to draw, and that shit's so time consuming. I kind of
It is
like,
my livelihood, yeah.
it takes fucking forever though. Like fuck, you would know, right? You like this, you
uh
go through a sketching phase, and then that's not even it yet. You have to like work on lining it, and then after that
mm-hmm.
you gotta color, and you can't
There
even just color it because you gotta shade it and you gotta render it. It's fucking, it takes forever to get one fucking thing.
Yeah, that's why it's totally a field of work. And I saw this one meme about it where it's like, oh, here, this artwork is like $100. It's like, why should I pay you that much for this? Because it took me 10
Because it
years
takes
to do
fucking
this in 10
forever.
Exactly. It took me 10
It
years
takes
of
fucking
dedication.
forever. Yeah, it's fuck, that shit takes so long. Like so I didn't really pursue that too heavily. I just drew for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, music, I didn't really, you know, I didn't care too much about like playing the cons and stuff. I really just wanted to be a successful musician professionally outside the fandom, and
And
that
to
was
kind of
kind of where all that went.
poke you at like the kind of, I like thinking about like the inner workings or like the backgrounds of what people like to think about as success, and especially as like a
Hmm.
person who's like myself kind of going into all these fields from like YouTubing, doing art, doing commissions, all these separate kinds of
Uh-huh.
like small businesses on the sides of my day job that I try to manage. And that's why in part like that's kind of like the impetus for this podcast, to learn from a bunch of different people.
Hmm.
What's like your kind of definition or like level of success that you deem it as?
Oh shit. Well, that totally depends on the medium, I think. So in terms of, oh man, it really depends. There's the romantic answer where in terms of my design work, my illustrations, my typography, like
Mm-hmm.
in clothing design, success for me is like people liking something enough to put on their body and walk around to represent themselves and like in the public space. That's fucking crazy. I never thought that would
That's
be a thing.
super honorable.
That's
Yeah.
on one, yeah, right? It's fucking like
Like, you want my art on
right, like in terms of like when I go outside I think about what I look like, right? And then
yeah.
for me to challenge that with like, oh, I want to wear this, what this person made, that's a huge, for me, a huge honor.
Mm-hmm.
So success, yeah, in terms of artistry, that for me that's all it really requires, the fact that somebody wants to wear it. Or like for music, success would be, you know, people getting something personal out of hearing something that I write because I inject something personal into it. If somebody resonates with that enough to either be inspired to create something, inspired to feel a certain way, inspired to challenge their own perspective
Mm-hmm.
of whatever the song might be about, that's a victory. But in terms of success, like as a store owner, obviously, like selling a lot of stuff, like
There is a
being
numbers
able to,
side to it, I
right, I
guess.
mean, if I'm doing this for a living, if you're doing this for a living, it has to be part of that too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a level of success that is like how how long can I do this for, and how well can I do this so that I can continue to make art my passion and art my life. I mean, you know, we can't ignore that that side does exist. But in terms of creating things, just sheer creativity, yeah, like all I want is for people to enjoy it enough to get something personal out of it. People to be happy because they have it, or can hear it if it's music, I guess. Or yeah, I mean, I guess that's really it. That's all I really care about.
That's kind of, yeah, that's really interesting because in the end, like for the artists, I do kind of really feel with is that like the payout for the artist is like I'm also freaking doing what I love, and
Right.
if it's well received, then that's just more motivation and fuel to the fire right there.
Exactly.
Uh, so like given all the stuff that you put out, like how does I wouldn't have expected, yeah, like how you mentioned a therapist is something that you pursued.
Mhm.
How does that, like given all the type of content you make and your type of like my perceived energy of you is like really high,
Yeah.
where where
Thrive or
does that,
die.
where does, yeah, exactly, it's even one of your freaking your taglines.
Mhm.
Where does that motto kind of blend with your, because when I think of therapists, I'm like that's like really calm, really relaxed,
Right.
not not really like, pushing
Yeah.
anything too hard. So
Oh
what's
yeah.
that duality like for you? Where did you get into the therapy line, or what is therapy? I don't, if you could even enlighten me.
Right. So I did a lot of work with populations that struggle with developmental disability, or families with children that struggle with developmental disabilities, um, things like that. And yeah, it requires a lot of I would say assertiveness. You have to be strong-willed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be calm. Um, and I'm pretty good at doing that. Um, how does that come into the picture? You said like the duo. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of funny like
Because
that.
it's like, oh, you're a rocker and you do all this kind of
Right.
stuff, and it's like, oh, and then you're gonna have to sit on the couch, and then we're gonna talk about your feelings.
That's what
Is
I
it as
do. It's just
cliche? Oh, okay.
it's true. It depends though, like if you're working with kids and shit, it's a lot more high energy than just kind of sitting on the couch. I guess that is, honestly, that is a lot of it. We're just kind of sitting and talking a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a different kind of energy. I think it's not loud energy, but I think therapy takes a lot of high energy because it takes a high level of attention and
Focus.
perception and focus, and making sure that you're on top of everything, kind of maintaining eye contact all the time, redirecting what people are doing. Like if you're trying to help somebody with a behavior that they can't be having, it requires a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah.
And it does require a lot of focus and resolve and resilience to be able to deal with things like people having an outburst, or somebody having like a really particularly bad day. It can take a lot out of you. And I think, it requires a high level of, you have to have that energy on reserve, because
Mm-hmm.
it can be really draining. It can take a lot out of you.
And
So in a pretty, I guess in an ironic way, I think having a high level of energy really helps you be calmer for longer when you have to deal with really stressful situations
yeah,
repeatedly.
I can see how that would like kind of funnel into this kind of stamina you would have for that type of thing, what
Right.
helps with that
I guess
longevity.
that's a good word for it. You need a lot of stamina to be able to do that kind of thing.
Funnily enough, just like on a personal note, I think I've developed the most too from, I listen to a ton of audiobooks and podcasts in particular. And
Mm.
one of the things that I've often listened to, like stepping into like the therapy realm or something, for myself to develop like kind of retrospectively internally, was listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you're familiar with that guy, but he's kind of he helps like a lot of people orient their way in articulating like the way that we sometimes feel in these all these different situations. And I just wanted to ask you, like straight from the horse's mouth, is that sort of the goal of therapy, to sort of like give you direction, or um
Right. Well, I think in terms of like social disabilities or social problems, the goal for me as a therapist is to help guide or teach someone away from behaviors or thought processes or certain things that would damage their social life,
mhm.
or just like kind of fuck with their, yeah, I guess their social life is mostly kind of, that was the realm that I went into. There's other kinds of therapy that are more in depth with different kinds of topics.
Yeah.
But the the bottom line in terms of like social disabilities or developmental disabilities that affect your social life is, yeah, it's kind of doing a lot of really in-depth personal kind of behavior redirection, or a lot of talk therapy about trying to prevent people from doing things that might damage their social well-being. So things that might hurt other people if they don't realize it, things like that.
That's really
Um,
cool because I think like a lot of the expertise would help in the fandom because I find out a lot of people actually do have a lot of anxiety or
yeah, it's hard.
yeah, it's really overwhelming at times too,
Yeah.
especially for cons.
Oh
Um,
yeah, cons are
and
crazy.
is that where like you kind of got like the merch idea from you, like the depressed but well dressed? Like, is that where the emotional side is tied into?
Yeah, I mean, not all my merch is kind of themed after something
I mean, you
like
have a
mental
sticker that
health.
just says "fuck 'em," so
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my personal, like, the fuck 'em hat and sticker were just I have a huge
it's
thing
cheeky.
for, I have a really huge thing for not compromising with yourself because of society or like community you're part of, kind of looking down at you. Like
No.
I grew
Mm,
up POC, I grew up queer.
mm-hmm.
Everybody around me was kind of telling me in indirect or direct ways that what I was doing was wrong, being a musician was a waste of time, um, anything like that all the time. So
So
I
this no
am
compromise.
very used to the idea of having to say fuck them.
Okay, so that's the mindset behind it. So like no compromise is kind of like not really being like Rage Against the Machine kind of thing.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
yeah, so I'm not going to fall in line. I'm not going
No,
to not be myself in another way.
no. I don't believe in I don't believe in compromise as far as it extends to not hurting other people.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
I
don't believe
totally agree
in
with that.
artistic compromise. I think you should always maintain your lane and like carve your own path. I don't believe in pandering. I believe
Yes.
in being your best and loudest self, because as long as you're doing that, you're always going to be in first place. If you're going to compromise and, follow suit, or have to, kind of cave to like criticism in regards to something, like I said, something that doesn't hurt people. Obviously, like if you're doing something that bothers someone, you have to cooperate, and that's just,
Yeah.
you're an asshole if you're hurting people.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
aside
Um
from that, like I don't believe in compromising about much about your identity. I don't think anybody should have to do that. So, fuck them.
okay, I got I know, that's beautifully put. You're a gentleman and a scholar. The I mean, I guess I kind of, I'm very wary sometimes about talking about things that may even be political, but kind of going with that attitude, like, I don't have any preference or anything, but when you see people on timelines and feeds, I just want to kind of get your commentary on this. When they're supporting one way or the other, how do you perceive that? Do you just let them do what they do, or I don't mean to sound like anybody should police anybody, but when
Right.
opinions are very strong, how do you kind of interact with that?
I think it depends on the nature of the opinion. I think that
Mm-hmm.
some people have opinions that maybe unbeknownst to them, maybe it doesn't come from a place of malice, but I think inadvertently aren't just opinions, right? There are people that have what they call are opinions that actually aren't just opinions. They actually perpetuate the marginalization of communities of people.
Mm-hmm.
They actually encourage things like racism. They encourage things like misogyny. I think that those quote opinions unquote aren't just opinions. I think voicing anything from a platform
Yes.
that can lead to harming people emotionally, fucking physically, comfortably, any of that shit isn't just an opinion anymore. You are spreading an agenda or being part of an agenda that actually hurts people. And in
Yeah.
that sense, those things need to be um
Called out or
I don't know about
rectified.
called out, but they have to be opposed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe in something like that, you should speak up about it. I'm not saying you should attack anybody
Yes,
because
yes.
I don't think that's really proactive a lot of the time.
I totally
But
agree. Yeah.
you got to say something. I think everybody has the obligation to do that for the people around them. I think there's a difference in voicing an opinion about, I like pineapple on pizza, fuck you if you don't, compared to like wanting to vote for a certain politician. That's not an opinion anymore, right? Because
It's
your actions are gonna affect the lives of other people. Now it's not an
mm-hmm.
opinion.
That's
Whatever
true.
the fuck pizza you get is whatever the fuck pizza you eat, and that's all
It's a
that goes as
personal
far as.
opinion. Yeah, it's
It's just gonna affect your life. I don't have your digestion system. I don't have your fucking. I'm not gonna know how the fuck you feel after you eat the fucking pizza. But who you vote for affects my fucking life and the lives of people around me, and the policies that they enact are going to affect my life, and it might hurt my friends. It might hurt people I know with medical conditions, shit like that. So it's not just an opinion in that sense. And I think when it comes to things like that, you should absolutely confront those things with some level of opposition in a way that can help us all get to where we need to be.
I think that's super fair and yeah, really well put because like even if it's a super drastic opinion, things that might start, a lot of stirs, um
Mm-hmm.
I like how you said coming from a place of like understanding cuz they may have like misinformation and you're not
Right.
just going to attack somebody just because they set you off in a way, but you want
Right. I
to
mean,
kind of
some
understand.
people set out just to fucking hurt people on purpose, and I guess like in that case, like it's fine. But like, I don't think a lot of people, or I wouldn't even say most people, are trying to hurt people. I think a lot of people just have been raised by people or in situations or in environments where they learned certain
Mhm.
things, and that's not necessarily the fault of many people. If
And it's crazy to me because I have a lot of friends that actually come from the South and
right.
they're in the fandom, which
Hmm.
is, yeah, hugely LGBTQ. And
Hmm.
like seeing that kind of breakout, like kind of shows the power of like what it's like to feel accepted and to have
Right.
this platform that's just so welcoming. Because it's like, well, it's still around and
Yeah.
it's only like, I can't help but feel it's only maturing and getting even better.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think the fandom's getting better every day.
Do you have any qualms about like, oh no, it's not mainstream? I mean, no, it is
Nah, I don't give
mainstream.
a fuck. I don't give a fuck about that. I think as long as we keep it as weird as it is, I don't want
Yeah, keep it
us
weird.
to start feeling like we have to pander to mainstream media because we're in the spotlight now. I think that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole point of this is to be your purest self. But I don't want to condense that down into like what's marketable. I don't think that's ever the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck if we're popular. That's tight. Because if it was more popular, the more queer kids who are trying to find out who the fuck they are, that was like where I was when I was a teenager, are gonna hear about it, and then they're gonna fucking turn up, and they're
Yeah,
gonna learn more about
exactly.
themselves, and they're gonna fucking figure out what fucking cartoon character they have a crush on really fast, and then they're gonna make their persona, and it's gonna be fucking sick. And who knows, maybe they'll get into art and they'll be like the next fucking big artist and change their fucking life. Like the
Yeah.
more popular the fandom is, the better it is for everybody. We just
Yeah,
have an
again, like the
obligation not
whole
to.
bring everybody else up.
Right, we just have an obligation, I think, to not let that affect um our disposition of like being as weird as fucking possible. We're fucking already there. We just can't lose sight of the fact that this is for us, not anybody else.
Kind of juxtaposed now, like with everybody being, kind of isolated and like given how deeply like tactile I would say all furries are. A lot of people are really tight knit and coming, thousands of miles from everywhere. Uh, what do you think? Like, um, should how should people interact? Like, what, even when this kind of, it seems like we're reaching a near like climax of the curve for this kind of pandemic, and I still don't know how even my own personal work is going to handle when everybody starts mixing and stuff
Right.
later. What do you see like the cons doing? Even BLFC, will you be attending? Because it wasn't
I
canceled, it
have
was
plans to
postponed.
attend. Right. I mean, I still have my room. Fuck, man. I hope it's responsible to go at that time. I think that if
Mm-hmm.
it's not, then obviously the conventions have a moral obligation not to host these events. I understand that they're not always at liberty to do this because of insurance reasons. They have to wait until it's legally canceled, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
they'll lose a shitload of money. I know that, I forget what con it was, but they canceled ahead of time or something, and now they're never going to have another one because canceling a contract like that is like $300,000 worth of debt.
Yeah, I heard it was close to 500,000. Yeah.
Yeah, some fucked up shit like that. So I get it. They can't just cancel. What are we gonna do? Yeah, I mean, it seems like at this point cons are pretty much done for the year, aside from BLFC and whatever
Mm-hmm.
happened after October.
Technically,
I
maybe MFF. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I mean, I fucking hope, man. I fucking hope that somehow it's, like I said, responsible to go.
Yeah.
Because if it's not responsible to go, I think either cons have a easier way of canceling, or we all responsibly don't attend.
Yeah, I just
Um,
think it's gonna be kind of interesting when like we're all slowly opening our doors to the sunlight,
yeah,
and
it's gonna
sort
be.
of
I mean, it's
like
hard to tell because it's fucking April right now.
it's been a long
Um,
time.
yeah, and it's gonna be like we're talking about October. That's fucking what, 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
6 months?
Yeah.
I've never spent that long, social distancing.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what it's gonna be like. But I think the focus this year is going to be focusing and identifying ways for us to feel a sense of community in the virtual space. I think a lot of new things are going to start happening online.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are going to start dabbling with new ways of reaching people. So you're going to see a lot of artists trying new things with streaming, or trying new things like hosting online events.
Maybe
I
it's
think
like
a lot of
a,
people are going to get into shit like VR.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah. That's really cool. I love VR chat.
yeah, there's going to be a lot of you're gonna see. I think we're gonna see like a lot of different platforms for this kind of shit. Because right now it's like what, there's like VR chat and like, there's the Minecraft shit that we talked about.
And maybe it's like a really like kind of like the second renaissance that I now that I think about it. Like it's the opportunity to, yeah, develop a lot of online resources and maybe see another like huge art boom.
Right. I think that's yeah, things are gonna be pretty crazy this year. I'm pretty excited to see like where the ingenuity goes in regards to like how we can maintain a sense of belonging and community without actually being able to see each other. Because it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
fucking hard. Like
Yeah.
I think the mental health repercussions of being isolated for that long are really scary. And if we don't take care of each other, we can all be like at pretty serious emotional health risk, I think.
Yeah, I
So I
saw.
think trying to figure that out is going to be people's top priority. And if it's people's top priority, like, I have faith that we'll figure out ways to get through it.
Yeah, I totally see that happening, and it's funny. I saw some memes about like, ha, as an introverted artist, I've been preparing for this my whole
Mhm.
life, and it's
Right.
not. It's some people are doing well, some people are thriving,
Hmm.
but yeah, for like a lot
Thriving.
of extroverted people, I imagine it's really tough too.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I'm as surprising as it might sound,
what's up?
I am a well-versed introvert.
Well-versed
So
introvert.
I
Hmm.
love staying home, dude. Like, that sounds crazy because I travel so much. I love to travel, but like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, when I'm home, dude, I just love staying in my room and I just lounge around in my underwear, playing music or working on a design or in Photoshop just like for days. Like, I just
In
kind of hole up. So this isn't too crazy for me.
yeah,
I'm kind of vibing.
the
Um
So what's like kind of the direction for Nonstop Pup in these times? Like if you want to kind of give people a current kind of schedule. I mean, it's really hectic, I know, but like what's the
Right. God, it was
trajectory
gonna
that
be so crazy. I had so many plans this year that I had to cancel, so it's so fucked
yeah.
up. Um, right now I'm working on a huge charity project that will
Oh,
exist on the internet. That's gonna happen real fucking soon, actually. Nobody knows about it yet, or
okay.
some people know about it.
Well,
You're
I
gonna hear
can
about that.
totally yeah, I can totally link that later when this episode goes up.
Hell yeah! When is this coming out?
So generally, like, for these podcasts, the day I record it, is also the
Uh-huh.
day I'll be getting to the art for it. So I'd like to have your ref sometime.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my god! You're gonna draw me?
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
for
so
every,
awesome.
that's the part that I like. Not to get too meta, but like that's the part that I love about the podcast because it's also a kind of excuse that I can use to draw people's sonas and stuff. So, we can
Like you
yes.
need an excuse. People will be dying for that. Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
Your art is so good.
Yeah, oh wow, they came from Nonstop.
What are
But
you talking about? I was commenting on your comic and shit. I was like, oh my god, I'm crushing on these characters.
oh yeah, thanks. Oh no, I really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm juggling that too. So but the day that I record this, so I'll be like tightening it up. I'll be doing some EQ work, and
Mhm.
when I have this all nice cut and finish with a bow tie, I'll get the art together so I can do the custom thumbnail, post it to YouTube, and it should be up within no more than like a day or two if I have everything going well today.
That's awesome. Wow, that's fucking fast. Holy shit. I was expecting like a month or something. God
No,
damn.
I gotta stick to a weekly routine. I got a Patreon that I gotta upkeep, man.
Weekly? You do these weekly?
Yeah, I have another
You
one
do these
coming up.
podcasts
Uh,
weekly?
Yeah, and
Who's next?
I have okay, fine. I do have a little teaser. If you know Zephix, he is another furry artist. He will be on the next episode of TreeBark number 12.
Whoa, cool. Who
Um,
was before me?
Before you was 10. Oh, he was a personal. So I do both furry interviews and furry creator interviews. This will be a creator interview, because creator naturally, and I do a mix of my other personal friends. Lewis, he's a goat demon, and they also get into the mix. And I love interviewing my friends and stuff like that.
Oh,
Um,
sick.
and
I'm so
and
glad this is a creator interview.
yeah,
I'm so glad that it's that and it's not like, hey, Nonstop, I know you drink a lot of vodka and like you're just like I'm glad that this is from the
do you
perspective of
party
like,
nonstop? Oh my
oh
god.
my
Do you drink
god.
alcohol? I didn't know that.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, duh.
Do you
But
smoke weed? I'm just kidding.
but yeah, no, I'm glad this is coming
The
from that perspective.
Yeah, because when I really like get into the whole reason for starting this podcast is because like everyone's got a story, and I'm
Yeah.
just like starving for that kind of content. I don't see a whole lot of other furry creators doing that. Quick
Mhm.
shout out to a couple of podcasts though, like furry podcasts. There's Southpaws if you haven't heard of them, they're really cool, and also Furcast. I really love talking to Paradox and stuff. They're really awesome people.
Cool. That's awesome.
But yeah, so I gotta keep up my comic page weekly, YouTube
Weekly,
content
dude, that's
weekly,
insane.
and podcast.
How do you do this shit? And you have like
Slowly-
another job too?
and day job, yeah.
What the fuck?
Slowly dying inside. That's how.
That,
But no,
that's crazy.
it's all worth it because when it's just like like when somebody says like, "Wow, I want to wear your."
I mean, it pays
sweater."
off. It pays off.
Yeah, it's just super lovely, and that's what I love about the community because it's reciprocal. Like,
Yeah.
you put a little out, and you get so much love for it.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like
What's up?
fucking like Hawaii so far? Do you ever feel like you're like really far from like the furry mainland?
You know what? I've never been asked that yet, but it's you kind of
That's
hit
like the
like,
first place my brain goes, like, because I know people that live in Alaska and shit, and
oh
like
shoot.
that's got to be hard.
The main thing, if anything, like what you just asked me was, yeah, it was really, I think about that every so often, and I think that's what gives me more fuel. Like, you know
Right.
what? If I'm isolated, I'm gonna put out even more stuff that I can connect with more people.
Right.
Because I won't let, even Paradox talk to me about this before, and it's like, he won't let geography stop him from
Right.
getting to, share more fun with people.
Yeah. That's sick.
So, yeah. Thanks for
I mean,
asking.
it's definitely paying off. Yeah. I mean, I'm curious too.
But anyway,
what was it? You
huh?
asked what I was doing this year? I don't
Yeah,
fucking know. I mean,
same. I just have my
um,
little schedule but
yeah,
beyond engaging with more people, I just know it's been really tough to do more collabs maybe
yeah.
or gig work.
Gig work like what?
I mean, well, as a musician, I think, well, when I think of a gig work, like, like a singer
Oh, you're talking
or
about
like,
me. I thought you were talking about you.
oh, no, no, no. I'm back to you.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, I had shows lined up. I had to cancel all of them. I had a tour. Oh my god, this is crazy. I was gonna go on tour in China. Obviously, that's not
oh,
gonna happen.
ah,
But yeah. I mean, it's fine. It'll happen at some point.
mm-hmm.
But all the cons I had planned, putting on hold. But since I can't do anything in the real world, like physical social space, like attending these things and meeting these people, performing in person and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
just been really focusing all my time in my creative projects on my own. So like the music I'm trying to write, the album I'm working on, the clothing designs I can possibly create, the store, obviously, shipping out all these orders, yada yada yada. Just
Like,
working as hard as I can on that kind of thing.
that's really cool to hear. And yeah, it's a lot of internal development, anything that you can really push on your own right now, at
Yeah.
least.
There's a few
Um,
things. There's a few things I'm working on to give to the fandom in terms of event wise,
mm,
that everybody can attend on the internet. So that's my way of kind of giving back this year. I'm gonna try
actually,
to do a
yeah,
lot of that.
no better time to like wrap this up. What would be some of the last plugs that you'd like to let your fans, your friends know, or anything about those events, or anything else
Oh
that you have
shit.
planned? Not to throw you in
Um,
the spotlight.
all I'll say is there's going to be some very, very big news coming really fucking soon. Probably on my Twitter.
Okay.
Um, I would say put notifications on my Twitter, but like then you're gonna see a lot of bullshit that I tweet in between. So just pay attention.
IMHO.
keep
It's
it
good.
keep it locked on
It's
the
good
Twitter.
content.
And thank you.
Go check out
Um,
Nonstop Pup, guys. I go link all of his information below. So if you want dank memes and if you
oh
want
my
high
lord.
quality Nonstop Pup energy, check him out. This has been TreeBark, so thank you very much. And a very big shout out to my patron pup supporters: Adrian Eves, Ben Campbell, Cord Hall, Fire the Fox, Ludwig, Michael Draws, Sasso Pro, Cyan Wolf, and Tyler Green. Shoutouts to my good boy supporters: Archon Inu, Howler, Jesse Anderson, Marco Valverde Mendoza, OK Dougal, and Seeker. And coming in at my top dog supporters: Artorius Nightwalker, Bryce, Damon, Ferris, Hattie, MN, Moody, Ella Ryra, who says, "Rabbits rule and dogs drool," and Yoru Panda Wolf. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting my content, and if you'd like to see more, follow my Patreon or my Twitter, all at Shikokubo, SHIKOKUBO. Thank you very much, and have a good day.